I do have an older video where I show how to juggle, and I learned it out of a Reader's Digest when I was 14. There was an article that said anyone could learn to juggle in 30 minutes. This basic pattern here. And I followed the simple steps and I was able to learn in 30 minutes. And then from that point, I was able to start building off of that pattern tricks through the years and stuff. Just the more you kind of play around with it, the more you can come up with different things. And it can be kind of a fun mental exercise, physically and for your mind and stuff. And one tip that I would give when people are trying to learn is don't get tensed up and real nervous. And it's hard to do because you're worried that you're going to drop them. Like that's a typical issue, is that you're worried you're going to drop them, and so you kind of are real tensed up. And a good thing to do is juggle right over a bed like this, so that if you do drop them, you will just pick it up right off the bed. You know, you can just grab it off the bed as opposed to having to keep bending down. And you'll do a lot of dropping at first when you're trying to learn this basic pattern. For the first 30 minutes, you'll do a lot of dropping, but you'll eventually get this where you're going, you know, you got this pattern down like this. But one thing to do, and I'm a little out of breath because I was just in the backyard doing a little bit of juggling. When I was doing a little juggling in the backyard, so I came in here and thought I'd talk about this. And I noticed when I'm juggling, if I'm tensed up, I'll drop them more times than not. Like if you're nervous and you're worried about dropping them, then when something kind of goes awry and you start stumbling, you tend to overreact and you're too tense. And you know, I've used to go like this when they were dropping, and that, you don't want to do that. You kind of let them drop. You learn to let them drop, and after a while your own reflexes take over, and it's like autopilot. Everyone naturally has reflexes, and the more that you do this, you'll develop a certain reflex that when you're dropping it, you'll quickly grab it, and your mind just kind of on subconscious autopilot. And so let's see if I can create one of those instances. I'll just juggle for a little bit, kind of waiting for a stumble. I don't want to create one, but I'll wait for one where things go awry, and I'm just in a relaxed state as I do this, so that there'll be like a subconscious, you know, reflex thing that happens on autopilot. So I'm not like straining to do it, like I'm worried about the next drop. Well, if one don't happen, I'll have to create one. But it happens all the time when I'm juggling. Like I'll be juggling and I'll have an accidental stumble and I'll be like, whoa. But rather than overreact again, I just kind of let my mind take over the reflex, let that happen. And the more you rely on your reflex, the less. And you know, you're not going to catch every one. I felt that one slip right through my hand. You're not going to catch every one. But maybe I'll just show the basic pattern again. Like when I first learned the basic juggling pattern, you just take first one ball and you throw it in an arc like this. And you want to practice this for about 5 minutes, even if it seems simple, because you want to create this arc effect, like a rainbow. And you create that. And you want to kind of try to keep it at the same level, like right up there about your forehead each time. And the more you do this, the more you realize you're not looking at your hands to see where to catch, because when the throw is perfect, you'll know, your hand will know right where to grab without having to look. Because if you'll notice, most times when I am juggling, I don't look at my hands, because I just have to throw the throws right, and I know that they'll land in the right spot. So, oh yeah, so then after you do one like that for a while, then you take two and go like this, creating an arc by throwing one up and one under, one up and one under. And you'll have a tendency to want to do this. Everyone does that at first, but you have to refuse doing that and throw like this arc on both sides. One up, one under. I hope this isn't too boring for somebody. Somebody finds this interesting. I hope that's great. If you want to learn more, I can show you on Discord. If you want extended lessons. So just do that. Practice that for about 10 minutes. I think it said to practice this for about 10 minutes. So you've invested 15 minutes in it so far. You've done this for about 5 minutes. You've done this for about 10 minutes. That's 15 minutes. So now you move on to the third one, and you start with the one that has 2 in one hand. Always start there, because if you try to throw this one first, the pattern won't go right. It has to create this sort of infinity sign, and to do that, you have to throw the hand that has 2 in it first, whatever you're trying to juggle with. So start by throwing that one up, and that's kind of how you'll do it at first. You can even hold the one like that, and then once you get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm going to let go of that third one, you know, and then you might kind of go like this at first, you know, as you practice. And what you want to do is just get to where you're just fluently one after another in a cycle. And my hands are always doing the same thing. There's nothing complicated here. I'm just throwing, catching, throwing, catching. This is as easy as walking. 1, 2, let's walk down the street. It's super easy. Anyone can learn it in 30 minutes. That's what the thing said. And then, of course, you can move on to other stuff. This right here actually takes more time to do this circular pattern. And it kind of looks easier, and people want to try this one, but it actually takes a little bit more time to learn that one. But this one here, 30 minutes, anyone can do it. Even little kids, doesn't matter. You can search on the internet and find little kids juggling, and this, you know, it's super easy. If you can stand in an assembly line and package, you know, products, this is basically what you're doing. It's like the same repetitive action over and over. Throw, catch, throw, catch, throw, catch. And then you can, again, change it up with other stuff. It's good once you kind of learn to do 1 or 2 in one hand like this. And then you can do different variations of that. So that's basically that. Here's one I was been messing around with, where you pretend like you're eating one. But anyways, hope all is well, brothers and sisters. God bless you. Peace and grace be multiplied to you. Hope your night and day is going good.